Welcome back to episode 3 of
Ex-Roommates. It's your girl Rose.
And Brooke.
And we're excited to be here.
Wow, I can't believe we've kept this up.
I know. I'm just as shocked as you are.
I mean, the third episode, it's like, okay, we're really doing something.
Hey girl, I gotta move out.
No, girl, don't go.
It's okay, girl. We're gonna start a pod.
Pod.
Ex-Roommates.
New episodes weekly. I mean monthly. I mean whenever the fuck we want. We just announced our tour for May.
Yes, we did.
So I did my first headline tour this past October, and we just announced with my deluxe album that I'm doing another headline tour, continuing on with the Big Mouth tour. It's now the Bigger Mouth tour in May, and I'm bringing Rose again.
Your bestie Rosemary Joquin is here again.
It was just like so convenient and so much fun that I had to bring you again. It
You
just
had
made
to
sense.
bring me. You were thinking, gotta bring her again.
It would have been dumb, honestly, to not. So,
How did it go this morning? So you posted it at
oh my god, it was
11?
such a shit show, obviously,
Why?
as it always is. Because like we were maybe gonna add another date, and then I was like, "Is the new date here?" And they're like, "No." And then I'm like, "Do you have all the ticket links?" No, we're missing one. Like it's just
Oh my God.
always, it's like. You just see me post, hey, surprise, here it is. But behind the scenes, I'm like, the whole like world is on fire. I'm like, and I also posted it and it like was not correct. So I had to delete it and repost it.
That is literally the worst. That sounds so dumb, but like when you get a post all together and then you post it and you're like, oh my God,
Yeah. And
this isn't right.
And you have like one chance, one opportunity to post about this big announcement. So like when I post the first one and it's incorrect, I'm like hating myself. So I
Yeah.
have to
And then you
repost.
feel like maybe the algorithm now is going to shoot it to the bottom.
Yes.
But I think it was worth it. What was the mess up?
Like the music was wrong. It's so stupid.
It's always so dumb and something that doesn't matter, but to you, it's so
It
important.
has to be perfect.
Yeah, it's got to be perfect. Everyone is really caring.
I mean, we're the only one who's really care.
I know.
but-
Whenever I like post something that I think I like mess up, I like ask everybody I know. I'm like, what do you think? Should I delete it? Should I not? What do you think is going on?
Yeah.
And like we post these, if you've noticed, like every Monday we do a collab post. And last Monday I freaking posted something and then I was like, oh my God, our collab post. So then I deleted what I posted because I was like, it's weird to have two things going up at once. Good thing about Reels though is that you can just put it to your drafts. So I was like,
Yes.
you can delete it and it just goes right to your drafts.
That is a really good feature. And something else that's super interesting is that we are very perfectionistic with our like music and stuff, but I think in general as a person, you're very type B.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Look, my hair is wet right now.
It's like so precious to us that like even for you that's a type B person, you want it to be so perfect as well.
Yeah, music is the only place I am somewhat type A. Honestly, I can't I actually think I'm crazy with music. I'm like, every single thing is like, but that's why we practice. It's okay if the vision is a little different. Go
Yes.
with it. It was
That's
back-
our mantra.
Yeah. Like it was when I was doing some video shoot and it was like not exactly how I was imagining and I was freaking out. And like Brooke was like, it still looks really cool. Just like go with how it goes.
Yeah. We basically decided from that kind of shoot and onward, it's like you go in with a vision of what it's going to look like, the finished product, but since it's a creative outlet, it's never going to be exactly that.
Yeah.
And you just have to kind of like
And it usually
flow.
goes to something cooler.
Cooler.
Sometimes you'll be like, ugh, that was a mess. But
for the most
you have
part,
to like respect what you're creating. And my therapist was like, you know, the saying that's like, control what you can control and let go of what you can't control. That's kind of like the same sentiment,
yeah.
which I think is so important.
And speaking of things that we're keeping up with, Rose started posting vlogs
Oh
on YouTube.
yeah, I started posting YouTubes because I just moved into my new apartment. My girlfriend just had hip surgery like an old person, and she can barely move, and I'm like home alone, and I was just bored, so I started filming. I forget why I started initially, but I was filming the process of me setting up our coffee cart or something, and I was like, I should just post to YouTube. And then I listened to Call Her Daddy and with Emma Chamberlain, and I was like, she just posts everything she does. And then the whole like Doechii was posting about her
Come
the
up
artist way.
process.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I don't want to put my like too much pressure on it, and when I'm editing I'm very chill with it, and Betty has really liked it too, so it's just like something I want it to just be a fun add-on, because at the end of the day I do like making videos and I do like yapping, so it's like the perfect combination.
I think it's cool, and I think your personality does remind me a lot of Emma Chamberlain, so I feel like it makes sense that that kind of platform would be a really good fit for you.
Because I sometimes feel like short form content is too, like, I have to be very concise with what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the heck? And I'm like, I like how YouTube, you can just have it, you can show your quirkiness, you can show your, like, weird pauses that you do. It doesn't feel so edited and chopped.
Yeah.
And it feels like so different editing that versus like a TikTok.
Yeah,
They're
you
not
were
even the
saying
same.
it's so much easier, you feel like.
Yeah, I just film when I'm bored or we're doing something funny. Then I'm like, okay, this would actually be hilarious to film. And then I'll put that together, take out anything that's like too messed up, and then send it on its way.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm excited.
Maybe I'll
For
do
you.
it on. I mean, I should keep it up. On Friday was my first day. I've been trying to post Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I didn't post last Friday. So we'll see how it goes. But I think, to me, it's like looking back at all this stuff feels like a little video diary.
Yeah.
So if anyone's watching it, cool. But it feels fun to like just
For
see my
yourself.
life. Yeah. And then if we do it on tour, we'll be like, oh my god, that was so fun and crazy. Like imagine if we had it the first tour.
Totally. Yeah.
It'd be insane because crazy shit happened.
It's funny you mentioned that because I did a tour vlog for my very first tour with Lost Boy Crow.
I remember that.
And it was so much work and like editing it. And afterwards, like everyone was like, "Are you going to do another tour vlog?" And I was like, "I don't know because it was crazy."
Why did it, like, I remember it being really good. Did you edit, like, because I'm not really doing anything special with the editing. And I'm normally making them, I'm not trying to fill it with specific stuff. Like, this is that first show's date. It doesn't feel like a requirement. It's just like, if something funny on the bus happened,
More chill.
that's it.
I was trying to have it like in order, like time sequence wise, and just like make the story make sense for a viewer. I wasn't just trying to put like random clips of like funny moments.
I'm just doing
Yeah.
that, and I think that's the only way I could keep it up. Because, like, we're already trying to film TikToks
Yeah.
during that. Like, YouTube is just for people that, like, actually... The only people who are watching my YouTubes are people that already follow me and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So...
But hopefully it will
Yeah,
attract a
and
wider audience.
Yeah, if it attracts a wide... I think that, like... I really loved your YouTube series. I was obsessed with it because it showed, like, her whole tour experience. Like, it felt like it was an episode.
Yeah.
Mine don't feel like that.
Yours are just like random spurts of your day and like
Correct.
Yeah. Which is probably easier for you to make and edit.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
So maybe I'll do it on tour and you can see, like, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to feel it out. But also, yeah, we are going on tour together again.
Oh, yeah.
And I think something that makes it really convenient is that Rose and I are sharing a tour van and band and
Yes.
bed on tour. So, like, because we've been roommates the last 6 years, we already know each other really well and are really close friends. So it's not weird for us to be together 24/7. We're already, like, used to that kind of thing. So,
I didn't really know how you were going to be, like, sleeping-wise because we always had our own rooms. But
Mhm.
she sleeps really small. Like, she's like,
I'm
which
very
is
militant.
great for me because and I'll be like, so sorry for tossing and turning. And you're like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I sleep like a rock, so nothing wakes me up.
Weirdly enough, I feel like all of the Airbnbs we stayed at, they were like big beds.
Well, I specifically got queen size beds for us.
I think some of them were king.
I think some were king
I
as
was like,
well.
you're so far away. Good. Because I like to move about.
Yeah.
And my biggest concern when I do that is, am I going to wake up the other person? So,
It's funny that I was concerned about that before we
Mm.
left for tour, but it was totally fine. So I think it'll be totally fine this time.
yeah, I feel like I'm excited to get back into the rhythm of touring, like, and getting... it's so weird because it was so hard while we were doing it, but thinking about it now, I'm like, I can't wait.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like, it makes you feel good at the end. Like, you really accomplished something. You really put in the time and effort. And also, you guys, like, you bond while you're in the van together for 24/7.
And we're
like,
pretty much going with the exact same people except
for
poor
our
Beth.
guitarist.
Yeah, because we share a band,
Yes, same band.
which is super helpful for saving moolah.
We have the same guitarist and drummer that we share on stage, which is great because they make extra money because they're getting paid by both of us, and we don't have to bring extra people.
Yeah.
And it's just like compact in the
Yeah.
van. So it's awesome. And then I'm also going to bring my same front of house / tour manager girl, Summer, who I met in Jersey. She's going to join us as well, which is awesome. Yeah, it's all girl gang, which is
An all-girl
really
gang.
great.
Driving was part of my favorite like memories of tour, was like driving through really cool highways on the West Coast and like watching cool movies like when you weren't driving and like gossiping and stuff. I felt like it was so easy.
Yeah, I think everyone's personalities really got along well. And I'm excited about this new guitarist we're going to have because Mace, our drummer, knows her already.
Me too, I'm pumped.
Which is kind of what happened last time where the two musicians knew each other already.
Mhm.
And like, we knew each other. The musicians knew each
Yeah.
other. It was like there was already like bonding happening.
Okay, wait. So think about your set from last time.
Mhm.
What is something that you want to, like, that you want to change this time around? Because there's so many things, because last time it was my first tour.
Yeah.
And I have so many things that I hope I can follow through with switching.
That's so funny. I am actually going to keep it pretty much the same, except for add some of the new songs from the deluxe. And I think you and we used to do Hot to Go together by Chapel Rowan, but that song is now old. So I think we're going to switch that out for a different song or something
Because I don't know
else.
if you guys know this, but Brooke put out a song about me. So maybe, I don't know.
Maybe that song.
Who knows?
How to Be a Friend could be fun.
Could be so cute.
Yeah, it could be really cute. But yeah, I think since I'd already toured before, I already had an idea of like what would work and what wouldn't, I think.
Maybe you could be like, who's here with their friend?
Ooh.
Same. You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Could be kind of cute.
Yeah, I think more audience interaction is always better. So
Yeah.
like maybe like bringing two besties on stage for something. I don't know. I need to think.
Yeah.
But
I had so many things that I did that were crazy that I won't do again.
really?
Yes.
Like what?
Big, like a lot of money spending that I didn't need to spend. Like I paid for the band's outfits because in my brain I was like, they're playing with Brooke right after. I want them to look different and I want it to all be cohesive and together.
Uh-huh.
So I bought their stuff, which normally the artist buys some form of uniform, but I think I like overdid it. Like I bought too many options. It wasn't just like one easy fit.
Right.
So I'll change that. And then another thing is I felt like I didn't utilize the band as much. Like I have real instruments with me and they're really talented. And I didn't create enough like music moments where they have their big moment to shine, because there's nothing cooler than like seeing a guitarist like do a huge solo or a drummer like freaking out on the drums. So much so that like halfway through the tour, I was like, we're just going to pause and I'm going to be like, these girls are really great at their instruments. Like,
Oh yeah.
here, Beth, like do a huge solo.
That was a great idea that you implemented towards the end of the tour.
Yeah, to like give them their moment. So if I can figure out in one or two songs like a different way of making the track, like it's pretty much going to be the same except making a few more special moments for the instruments.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
When I think of tour, the first thing I think of is how crazy our van situation.
Yes. So Rose and I learned how important, probably the most important thing on tour is the van.
Yeah.
Because that's where you guys you're in that thing the whole tour.
Yeah.
Every day for so many hours. And last tour, I'm very frugal and I really wanted to find ways to cut corners and save money. And one of those ways I thought was with the tour van. So I was looking on Facebook Marketplace for a van that was like used that I could buy, because I was like, I'll be on tour more, so I'll just use this van every time and save money instead of renting it every time. You may have seen what happened, but I went to pick up the van. I literally dragged my friend Kayla with me
2 hours away.
3 hours, I think, to Louisville, Kentucky to pick up the van. All was well. got in the van, started driving back home to Nashville, and it broke down on the highway. And
That is crazy.
and I start like crying. I called the guy I bought it from, and he was so nice, and he said he would come back and pick it
You're
up
so lucky.
and give me the money back.
That is crazy.
Insane. Like, only like a cute little girl who's crying, I feel like, could get that. Like
I don't know, or he just was like a really like he obviously like just didn't know that that was the case.
I think he was a really genuinely nice person. He came back, picked up the van from us.
Because he could still sell it. Like, he just needs to fix it or find somebody that wants to put it together. Like,
Yeah.
just a weird situation.
It's not like he like fully lost that money.
Nothing was funnier than that post that you made because she's so happy. Like, she was videotaping it all and she was like, yay, I can't wait. And then she's like,
Crying.
then it like cuts to you. But then
It was like the best day, then the worst day, all in one. So I ended up renting a van, but it wasn't from like an established company. It was like a guy that I found on Facebook
it was a bro
that,
selling his van.
no, he had like vans that he was renting out, but it was like a person like you or me who started a business. It wasn't like a really well-known established company, but he was cheaper because of it. So this was me
Learn
still trying
from this.
to save money. So, you know, we get the van, all's working, we pack it up, we head out.
We are such good vibes. We are 4 hours in. Honestly, I was like, and I am a prima donna. Like, I don't like driving that far. I don't like being uncomfortable. So tour for me, I was like, am I going to like this lifestyle? Am I cut out for this? I'm like the princess and the pea. I was nervous. So I was really happy that I was like comfortable in this van. We'd gone like, I was driving. I was like, I'll drive. All of a sudden,
It starts like making weird noises. Rose pulls over. I'm like, what did Rose do?
it was like the engine light came on, and we were like, okay, let's just pull over. And I think you called the guy.
He was like, this actually happened on a trip right before your trip, and all you have to do is like switch out this thing underneath the van.
He
and
said it
it'll
was
work.
the sensor. Like, it wasn't actually the engine light. It was just the sensor for the engine that was acting up.
Right. Which was interesting that this had just happened on a previous trip and he didn't tell us about this before we picked
Yeah.
up the van. So anyway, so we brought it to AutoZone.
We barely got it.
we
to
got
AutoZone.
we barely got it there. We switched out some different things that the guy paid for. And we're like, we're back. We're
Yeah.
good. We start driving again.
Boom.
Same thing.
down. And mind you, we're like in the middle of nowhere.
And we had a show the next night.
Yes.
That we had to get like 5 hours away for.
Yeah.
Still.
So we're in the middle of nowhere, bus broken. Every company is about to close.
Yeah, it was like 6 p.m. We found like a mechanic who was just about to close, and they like took a look at it real quick and they were like, yeah, you're going to need a new part. We're not going to be able to get that part till Monday. It was Friday. And they're like, you're going to have to wait here over the weekend.
We don't have a place to stay, man.
We're like, we don't have a place to stay, and our show is tomorrow, Saturday night. We can't be here till Monday. That would ruin the entire rest of the tour. And so we ended up, we left that van at the mechanic, and my manager was able to find us a rental from Bandigo, which is like a trusted, established van rental company. So we ended up paying like double the money that we would have paid because we had to get a second van. We couldn't pick up the Bandigo until our next destination where our show was. So we had to drive an Enterprise car and a U-Haul to fit all of us and our gear to get it there. So we had to drive 2 different vehicles split up
6 hours.
6 hours.
Then another 6 hours to then pick up the band.
To then pick up the Bandigo van. It was like such the craziest time ever. I was so stressed. Rose was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for touring.
I literally was like, and everyone was being really positive, which is great. But I was like, is anyone going to talk about how we got no sleep last night and this has been a shit show?
So that's the thing on tour. It's like an unspoken rule that you learn from being on the road. You always have to try and be positive, especially the people that are hired guns, like the musicians. Because
Which I get, but I was like, is anyone honest here? Is everyone having a good time?
And it was Rose's first time, so she was like so confused why no one was like talking about how it was like a horrible situation. Everyone was like, no worries, we'll get it figured out, level-headed. And Rose was like freaking out.
Finally, I think it was our last drive in the U-Haul before we got the actual van. And I was with Summer, the tour manager. And I was like, this has been pretty shitty, right? And she's like, really bad. I'm like, is this normal? absolutely not. Like,
Well, also it was Summer's first time touring
yeah.
too,
Oh,
so she
yeah.
didn't even really know either that it wasn't normal.
yeah.
But I knew, and Mace knew, like the musicians knew, and I guess I just thought it was assumed that this was like a crazy thing happening. Apparently,
No.
Rose didn't know.
And then I think I had like a debrief with the other, like Mace and Beth, and they were like, this is the craziest thing that's ever happened to us. This isn't normal. And I was like, okay. And finally, we get in the band to go, and I was like, pure bliss. I love driving. This is the best.
Yeah.
Tour so easy.
She loved it. They called it the Beyonce van because
Yeah.
it was like so spacious and so nice quality.
It was awesome.
Just keep in mind, if you're about to go on tour, do not try
Learn
and-
from us.
Do not
look right here.
Do not try and save money on the tour van. That's where you should splurge all your money on.
And in fact, this time around,
We're
we've
getting
chosen
a
not-
band to go, and we're not risking
We're
it.
going with what we know and love. Speaking of things that you're going to do on tour that might be different, before Brooke would have a VIP thing where she would show her short film.
Yes. So for my album Big Mouth, I filmed a 30-minute short film last summer with all my friends in it.
It was so fun.
A huge crew, and it's basically like a biopic about my life the past few years and how I've gotten to where I've gotten. I spent so much money on it. I was like, how do I make this money back? And one of the ways I thought of was to, make it part of the VIP experience. So people would pay for tickets to see this film.
And people did.
And people did, and it was a great experience. But then afterwards, I was like, how do I release this into the world now? And Rose thought of an incredible idea, like a few weeks back, to sell it on DVD.
That's right.
So smart, because I recently started selling CDs for my album as well, which went really well. Like, people were asking for them because I had vinyls, and they're like, what about CDs? Because people want like that retro nostalgic
That's like
merch
super
item.
in right now.
Yeah. And so I've actually sold a bunch of DVDs. Like,
Okay.
I feel really good about how those are being received. And that's just something that's really awesome that Rose and I do a lot, where like one of us will have kind of like a spark of an idea and the other one will extrapolate on it and make it even better, or like bring it to full life.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so cool to like have another creative person who like gets your vision as an artist and can help like push it along more.
Totally. Because it gets to a point where like we've been doing it for so long where like we can't just ask normal people.
Yes, totally, because we're too deep in it.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I don't know.
I found that if you have a job that's a little bit off the beaten path, sometimes it's easy to get offended by how other people don't know about the field that you're in. And I've learned that like it's never like because they don't support you.
Is that like malicious?
No, it's just they literally don't know that like if we have a song come out and one of our good friends doesn't even mention it, we're like, what the heck? But it's just not even
on the forefront of their mind. When I put out my album, it's like, that's like a wedding day for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a huge thing I've been working on for an entire year.
Mhm.
And so if like friends of mine who aren't in the music industry don't say anything about it, it's just because they don't get it. Like, they
Yeah.
don't understand how big of a moment it is for me.
yeah.
So I have been seeing TikToks about like the hair theory for artists that are popping off. So it's like, you could draw a silhouette of Chapel Rowan and Sabrina Carpenter and you would know who they are just because of their hair. Like, Chapel Rowan has the curly red hair. Sabrina Carpenter has the blonde with the bangs.
Totally.
And I was like, I don't have something like that. Like, I need to become more of a caricature of
you
myself.
used to have that short hair.
I used to have the short hair, and now I'm growing it out, and I'm happy with it. I don't feel like I need to go back short again, but I was like, what else can I do that like makes me stand out? And so I was just like talking through it with my younger Gen Z sister, and one of the things that we've decided is I'm going to wear this silver chrome jewelry all the time. So I got these necklaces off Amazon.
So Brooke wears them
and
to
these
bed.
rings. So I will never, if I take it off at night, I won't put it on the next day
I know
again.
what you mean.
So I have to I'm forcing myself to learn how to sleep with it on, because that's the only way I'll wear this every day.
It does look really cool.
Thanks. I think it gives me a little
My
like
favorite one
special.
is the little stuff on your ears.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's
Pretty
pretty
fun.
fun. I think it's pretty fun. But it's similar, like Rose has the blue line.
I do.
So it's just something like a little something like that. I don't know. I'm just messing around with things. So if you have ideas for me, let me know.
I do like the jewelry.
Thanks.
And I do think, like, even jewelry, it is kind of scary because, like, you want to commit to something that, like, aligns with you, or you're going to be wearing jewelry that you hate. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, for me, I went through that kind of thing where I was like, I need someone to be able to, like, I want to be more of a character. I saw this waitress, like, I was out to dinner and this waitress had a scar down the center of her eye, and it reminded me of a dream I had like years prior that like was a really memorable dream for me, where I had a scar down my eye, and I honestly woke up and was like, I looked so cool in that dream. I was like, wonder if there's a way to implement like a scar type thing. I had vocal surgery 2 times, so like I have scars on my vocal cords. And one day I was just messing around with, I love like colors, and like I dyed my hair pink in college. Like I just love vibrancy, and like blue I've been really like drawn to with my music. So I was like, I'm just going to draw it on my face. And I drew the line down my eye, and I was like, okay, you look kind of cool. And it was really scary wearing it to my first show. Like I was like, am I looking so weird? But now when I put it on, I feel very much like Performance Rose. In a way, it's like when Chappell Rowan's like
full face of makeup.
Yeah, definitely different. But I definitely feel like it's my armor for like performing.
I think it's so sick and memorable and just unique. Like I've never seen that before. And like you said, it's good for like a fan base. They can show up.
A
just
few people
draw
on
a blue
tour
line.
did, and it was so cool.
And it's like, those people are here for you.
Yeah.
It's so obvious.
And on tour, we have like 20 minutes to get ready. So like you put on your outfit, and then I draw the line on, and I'm like, I really do feel like it pulls my whole fit together. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I also saw this thing where Sabrina Carpenter was like, her thing is like all lingerie. And she has kind of twisted it where it doesn't really feel sexual. It feels like feminine and girly and soft. It's like whimsical almost. Like her, it doesn't feel like she's like trying to be this sexy. She is sexy, but it's like, I don't know if I'm making
think
sense.
her body type has something to do with that though, because she's
like short.
Yeah, short and cute.
She's almost like a little doll.
I think if like Dua Lipa wore that, it would be like, it's really sexual. Maybe, I don't know.
Potentially.
I think it's different. Just like how you and I, when I wear a certain top, it's like, oh, her boobs are out. But when you wear it, it's like normal.
I think because I'm like itty bitty titty committee girl, I can wear like deep V's and that kind of a thing, and it doesn't come off as like hypersexual. It's just kind of like, oh, cool outfit.
Totally.
And I've had that my entire life, and I used to think it was so lame, but now I totally see it as a superpower.
I think it's so cool, especially with like stage outfits. Like there's things that I can't wear because it just feels like too revealing or too like trying on purpose to be sexy, and I feel like Rose can get away with that kind of stuff.
I definitely have noticed that, like even just with our 2 outfits that we were on stage.
But that's like a cool thing that like different girl body types can like wear different things and give a different vibe from them.
And I think it's kind of fun because I did hate it when I was younger, and now like I'm obsessed with my string bean flat chestedness.
I think it's sick.
I got a booty though.
Yeah, Rose does have a booty that I'm jealous of.
I just was scrolling online and I saw that Forever 21 was closing.
Yes, so that's all I've been seeing.
Do you think that they're going to go on like a major sale?
So I actually just went to Opry Mills the other day because I heard they were doing like a going out of business sale at Opry Mills in Nashville. And then I was like, oh, are you closing all Forever 21? So they were like, no, just in Nashville. And then this news comes out that they're closing everywhere. And the reason I did that was because I was looking for tour outfits. Because Forever 21 has like cheap stuff that you can, like on tour, you kind of only want to wear those outfits for like a few shows and then like not again, because it's like people already got photos of you in it and videos of you in it.
I'm just thinking of it in a sense of like when we were younger, that's been there forever and now it's closing.
Maybe they'll close a lot of them, but then like they'll come back or something.
Yeah, they have claimed bankruptcy like
before, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how they would rebrand and make themselves come back.
I feel like they totally could.
Definitely.
The name Forever 21 is so cool. It's like they can do something with that. You know?
Yeah.
Like if Abercrombie can come back, J. Crew can come back, if Hollister, if Abercrombie, like
that's so
Forever
true.
21 can do it maybe. Ouch, that's hot. A hot take.
This past weekend we got to catch up with one of our good guy friends, John.
He goes by Townsend.
He's an artist in town, and something that is funny about him, that we love about him, is that he always loves to have hot takes.
Like really commit to a hot take, even if it riles you up.
It gets him going. His hot take this time was that Pete Davidson getting rid of all his tattoos
He's a faker.
is a like he was like, I can't trust anything that guy does or says now, because it seemed like he was all in on tattoos and then just flip of a switch decided he's not anymore.
And like tattoos, apparently we are tattoo-less.
Yeah.
We're like the last two people in Nashville. But like getting a tattoo is such a way of life, and like when you get a tattoo, you know what you're signing up for, and it like kind of describes what kind of person you are. And then to just get them all removed, it's kind of like you just hopped on a bandwagon.
Yes. When a tattoo, I guess the tattoo community feels like it's more sacred than that.
I don't know if I think that or not, but that's just what he was stating. And
That's what John was saying.
Yeah, that's what John was saying. And I feel like part of me totally agrees with him, but the other part of me is like, he could have just fully committed when he was young and was fully in it, and now
Changed his mind.
has become, he's grown up. He maybe knows who he is more, like at his center who he is, and he's like, I'm not a tattoo guy. I don't know.
Which is crazy because he was completely full of tattoos.
I know.
And then to just be like, I'm not a tattoo guy. And also, I think what was at play there also with that argument is that it's like Pete Davidson is super privileged, and like to be able to afford, because it's so expensive to get all those tattoos removed, that like normal people could never afford that, and they just have to like live with their decisions and can't just decide one day that they didn't like that decision.
But it's kind of like, I liked him with the
comments.
tattoos.
I think he looked cool.
Did he remove all of them?
Yes. I think honestly
That is crazy.
it's funny because I'm not a tattoo person, so seeing him without the tattoos, I was like, oh, I like the way he looks without them.
So funny because like my girlfriend has tattoos and I've never been a tattoo person, and it was something to kind of like get used to, and now the thought of them not being there, I'd be like, who are you?
Yeah.
It's really like something that I love now about her.
Yeah.
And it is her. So the thought of her not having it, I'm like,
She'd be a different person.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
super
she'd
interesting.
have a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
We wish we wrote it.
So this week, I don't necessarily have like one song, but I have been seeing this girl, Zoe Ko.
Oh yeah.
Has been posting like teasers for her EP that's about to drop, and I'm obsessed with the way that she's doing it, so I just want to show it. Basically, she has each one of her songs is a different clip here,
Like a different,
and it's her standing as if it's a photo, but just singing it.
yeah, that looks so cool.
I just think it's a really unique way to promote the songs. And it really gets me thinking and
Yeah.
curious what the next one's going to look like.
Well, because we're always talking about like
New ways
how
to
can
promote.
we, yeah, because I mean, we are guilty of them. We post the performance videos like because people have just gotten into a rhythm, but it's like, who's going to do the next thing that's never been seen before?
Totally.
Like Tube Girl. Like
Yeah.
doing the thing that is simple yet
That's the
New.
key. Finding something that's simple to do and doesn't take up too much time and energy, but is cool looking and gets the vibe of the song across.
yeah.
Kudos
It definitely
to
looks
Zoe for
like
thinking of that idea.
it kind of reminds me of the girl who talks about her shoes on TikTok. Like she'll flip her foot around and she'll be like, "This is my shoe," and she'll hold it in a weird
Oh,
position.
I don't think I've seen
for
that.
the whole time that she's talking about her shoe.
Interesting. I have not seen that.
I forget. And then apparently I got like kind of onto like the drama of it. Another girl's doing it and everyone's so mad, and I just think that's
Really?
interesting. Yeah.
That's the thing, though. Like, once you come up with it, if anyone copies it, if it's like actually unique
Yeah, you
and
better
cool,
do it the best.
Yeah.
But people were defending the OG shoe girl.
So interesting. Is there anything else? Well, I'm about to go on tour with Nightly in April.
Oh yeah, because I'm meeting
Um,
you out west.
Yes. So basically, the Nightly tour, we're hopping off in Salt Lake City, and then Rose is flying there with the rest of the band, and then we're going to continue onward for the headline tour. That's why we made it mostly West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited for the tour. I'm bringing my boyfriend to play for me.
Wow.
He's a producer, and
That is so crazy. Are you so excited?
I'm excited. I'm honestly stressed right now getting prepared for it, but I
Totally.
think it'll be fun and a test of our relationship.
Oh my god, I think it'll go great. You guys work very much like in a similar way. I think it'll be
Yeah.
great.
And we've had like issues before that we've been able to like talk through, like have good communication about. So like if things go wrong, I feel like we'll be able to chat and like have good communication about it,
Totally.
which will be good. But yeah, he's gonna play guitar, drum pad, and keyboard. It's gonna like switch around for like different songs. So I'm really putting him to work. But it'll be great because, you know, I'll only have to rent like one bed in an Airbnb rather than like a full Airbnb for us. I'll be able to save money that way.
Totally.
We're going to do a minivan, so it's a smaller vehicle. So yeah, I think it's going to be great. And I am excited. I'm just have to get through the
Yeah.
planning and preparing
Yeah.
for it. But yeah, I think that's everything.
Cheers.
We did episode 3 in the books. And then next episode, we'll be on tour together, I think.
Oh my God, that will be so fun.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
love
we'll
that.
do it in the tour van.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Okay, cool. All
All
right,
right,
bye guys.
bye.